another episode of Local Legends. I'm Kaylee Kidd, and today we have with us Juan Alba, 2023 Hammond Sports Hall of Fame inductee and former athlete at Gavitt Junior and Senior School. Okay, how about we get started?
All right. So your last name is Kidd?
Yeah.
Did your family go to Gavitt?
No.
Because I know a Peggy Kidd and a Kenny Kidd that.
Those are my aunts.
Oh, Peggy and Kenny are? Okay. Kenny was just at my house this weekend. He's one of my teammates.
So, why did you start playing sports?
It wasn't up to me. I never showed any kind of ambition or anything that I wanted to play sports. When I was in third grade, my mom said, "Hey, I signed you up for Woodmar baseball." So I played Little League, and then I never asked to do it again. But then 2 years later, so she never signed me up again. But 2 years later, I finally asked and was like, "Hey, that was fun." And so I played baseball, met a lot of friends, and then eventually those friends said, "Hey, in middle school, let's play football together, or let's join the track team." And then I just kind of kept doing that.
How old were you when you started sports?
I was 9 when I started playing Little League. Wrestling and football wasn't until 6th grade, and then I was 8th grade or track was 8th grade.
Which sport did you enjoy the least?
Football, definitely. I don't like it at all. First day of practice, you get a headache, and it doesn't go away until the end of the fall when the season's over. I just never thought it was interesting. I was a lineman, so I had to knock over the guy in front of me. And then if I knock him over, then I go find somebody else to knock over. And then if there's time, find the little guy in the back and push him down. So it just never interested me.
What was your favorite?
Track, it was definitely. Some people go golf or go fishing to relax. I could go to the discus ring, throw all day long. Now that I'm coaching, some of the kids can see that I'm the one who's losing track of time. I'm the one who's staying out in the ring. As long as they're letting me, they have to remind me. It's like, hey, we have to go inside and lift weights or do other things.
Describe a time you wanted to give up during a sport.
That was my senior year. My dad he was always at all my wrestling meets. And then after conference meet, he had to leave early, and he told me to call him. But he didn't answer his phone that night. And then I knew something was wrong. I didn't hear from him for a few days. And then a couple days later, I'm in school, and I get called out of class, and I see my mom and the football coach walking down the hallway. So I told him, it's like, I already know what you're gonna say. They found my dad's body, and I didn't want to do anything. I stayed in bed for a week, just my grandma there by my side, rubbing my head. I don't eat. I don't even remember getting up to go to the bathroom or drink anything. Just that entire week. I heard people coming in and out of the house, but I just didn't want to do anything. And everyone kept saying, "Oh, he loved watching you wrestle. You got to keep wrestling for him." But I just didn't want to. During that week, I lost maybe 20 pounds of muscle. I was so out of shape, but the day of the funeral was the sectionals. So they changed the schedule around so I could wrestle first so I could go to my dad's funeral later. And then I somehow got through that. I got through regionals, and at semi-state, I just wanted to stop. Like, I couldn't do it anymore. When I lost, I was so happy that I could finally just take a break and just relax. Coaches always say, like, leave everything you have on the floor, on the field, on the mat, wherever but I honestly had absolutely nothing left. I just remember my coach, CJ Compton, and I just sitting next to the bleachers, and I just so exhausted. This is the most exhausted I've ever been in my life, but I was happy that I could finally just catch my breath.
Yeah. Was your dad a big motivator for you to play sports?
He enjoyed that I played it. He didn't. No, neither of my parents pushed me into it, other than like my mom's just kind of signing me up. But no one said you have to do this. So it was just that I could tell he was happy that I wrestled. He liked watching me win, but it wasn't anything that he like forced me to do or really encouraged me to do. He just enjoyed being there while I did it.
So when you got back into playing sports, was he a motivator for you to keep going?
No, at that point, I just wanted to, it was track season, so I just wanted to go throw the discus and relax, just clear my mind and just go have fun again.
What was your most memorable moment in your sport?
That's probably when the one time I actually did give up. My senior year in college, I quit the track team. My coach was focused more on certain athletes, and a lot of my teammates came to me because I was the throwing captain. So I went to the coach and said that you're neglecting a lot of my teammates. You're just like mean to them at practice and trying to force them to quit. And he said, well, it's my team. I can do whatever I want. And I said, I don't think I want to be part of that team. So he called my bluff. I quit. And they begged me to come back because it was going to be a tight race for the conference championship. I just said no, and I stuck with my teammates. One of their dads actually called me in my dorm room and thanked me for sticking up for his daughter and giving up awards that I could have won just to stand by my principles. So I think that's my most memorable moment, when I just stood there with my teammates. And I try to think about that now while I'm coaching, not to let any of the kids, no matter how much potential I think they may or may not have, I still want to give them all of my attention as long as they're willing to be there and participate. So I think about it all the time, and it definitely affects how I coach now.
Describe what semi-state was like compared to any other meet.
I wrestled at the semi-state meet 3 times. My sophomore year, I thought I was so out of place. I didn't belong. I was an imposter. My friends, my cousin who wrestled at Portage, they all believed in me much more than I did. And I had to wrestle against a kid who beat me. He pinned me in 45 seconds earlier that year. I didn't think I stood a chance, but I ended up beating him somehow. And then now I thought, oh, I could kind of hang with these guys. Maybe I do belong. My junior year, that's when I knew all the people who finished ahead of me were graduated, so it was my meet to lose. And I went in there thinking that I was unbeatable, and I ended up winning it. And wrestling underneath that spotlight in the championship, where you have hundreds of people in the crowd cheering for you, it's really amazing. The only thing that might be better than that is wrestling at the state meet, where you have thousands of people in the stands cheering for you.
Did
But
that motivate you to stay consistent with your athleticism?
yeah, I don't like losing, so if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 100%. I don't think I ever missed a day. I missed one day of practice in 4 years of high school playing 3 sports, other than for academic reasons. And that's the day I was really sick. So I think just coming to practice all the time helped me stay consistent, never taking the days off. And because if you take a day off, then it's so much harder to catch up, and then everyone else passes you, especially in a sport like football, where you miss a day and all of a sudden you don't know the playbook anymore because things change. So I think just staying with it, even during the summer, I was always out there 3-4 days a week throwing, just so that I never took that time off and had to fall behind and catch up again.
Did you become a coach because you grew so much as a person playing sports?
I became a coach because I like teaching, I like sharing, and I like to make sure that the kids can become better people. I don't know, so some of them I tell you how I do all the little things like correct their grammar, just the little things to try to make them better, try to keep them accountable for their actions, let them know their consequences. But I just really enjoy it. Like right now I'm coaching because a friend of mine asked me to come help him out. So I said, I'll come for a week, teach you how to coach the throwing events. And I like those kids so much that I'm still there. This is my 3rd season.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you, Mr. Alba, for coming in. I'm your host, Kaylee Kidd. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more.